It's a beautiful night for soccer in the desert. Phoenix Rising is back at home tonight as they host El Paso Locomotive from Casino, Arizona Field. It's all brought to you by Equality Health. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Happy to be ending your Saturday with us. An exciting matchup here. It's Group C against Group B. And let's talk about Group C. El Paso Locomotive, this is a really intriguing group. They're in second place right now.
Only 1 point in their previous 2 matches. That is the draw at home against New Mexico United, but they followed that up with a loss. Now here's how this is going to work out virtually. With New Mexico United beating OKC Energy FC, and then you look at Real Monarchs on the road against Colorado Springs. They both gained 3 points. El Paso Locomotive cannot afford to lose pace.
It's a crucial match for them, and they're happy to be seeing another team other than New Mexico United. They've dropped points the last 2 against them.
The thought process behind Mark Lowry and his Western Conference wonders is a lot of possession on the ball, almost inviting pressure at certain points in time, Josh, but it's calculated. They understand that they've got to move it up the pitch. Sometimes it's slow. Yes, it can be methodical, but they can also strike with a vengeance. They just haven't been able to create enough in the final third. Phoenix, on the other hand, they've been up and down, a bit wishy-washy. Not the results that they wanted, especially last time out against Orange County, but they're still right there in the pecking order. An opportunity to come home, get 3 points tonight, and get back atop Group B standings.
Well, they've been good scoring goals this year. They've scored 6 goals in a game. They've scored 4 goals in a game, but just 1 in the last 2.
When you look at the overall performance, though, that's where it's really been lacking. You haven't seen that full collective effort that we became so accustomed to, of course, over the 20-game win streak in 2019. But the shape, when they move forward, it's got to be in unison. And then when they drop back on defense, everybody has to be all hands on deck and one collective effort. We have still yet to see that. But here's the good news if you're a Phoenix Rising fan, and better yet, if you're involved in this organization whatsoever. Only 4 back-to-back losses in the last 3 seasons. They do not do it. You can better believe it's not going to happen tonight.
Well, Phoenix is looking to get back on the right track tonight, and so is El Paso. Both these teams a draw and a loss in their last 2 matches. So what is going to give tonight? It's Group B against Group C. Lineups and first kick coming up next.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
From Scottsdale and Casino, Arizona Field. The team's out on the field, the sprinklers are on, and we are almost ready for some soccer. But let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. They're brought to you by Arizona Federal Credit Union. Here's the 11 for Rick Schantz, and a big change at the back.
4 change for Rick Schantz and co. We start with Eric Dick in goal. He's going to be the one to lead this team going forward. AJ Cochran asserts himself alongside Corey Whelan. Usuanso Kanto back at left back position. Sam Stanton, the Scotsman, alongside John Baccaro and Lambert. Midfield has to be better, have to create more, and the treacherous 3 up top of Flemings, Dadashov, and Asante are back to business.
And that change at the back is Eric Dick. He is tonight's player to watch, presented by Pacific Office Automation. What do we know about Eric Dick?
So much talent, so many people to look around and point a finger at, but it's got to be Eric Dick. I think the goalkeeping position in general, Josh, but especially Eric Dick, it's got to be his first one for Phoenix Rising, an opportunity to step up, show these guys that not only by performance, but vocally, you can lead this team to victory, especially because they got to get back on track. They got to get 3 points and put together a solid performance.
Eric Dick from Roland Park, Kansas, played his college soccer at Butler. On the other side for El Paso, for Mark Lowry, here's his 11.
Drew Becky in it right back alongside pretty much the mainstays that we see in Fox and Toko and Jerome. Logan Ketterer, one of my favorite goalkeepers to watch as he's phenomenal with his feet, and they love to play out of the back. I'm really interested to see how this shape looks for El Paso Locomotive. Recently, they dropped into more of a flat midfield 4. That looks to change this evening with Dylan Mayers attacking the role in the number 10 position. Jose Gomez up top. Again, I've liked what I've seen from this team building out, but in the final third, there has to be more imagination. Omar Salgado has been fantastic, but he's got to find supplementation from other players on the pitch.
And there is a look at Eric Dick. He will be in between the pipes tonight for Phoenix Rising. His first start, he did play a little bit in the preseason. On the other side, there is Logan Ketterer. Well, we're just about set to go. Those new black kits for Phoenix Rising looking very sharp. You can see the cardboard cutouts there on the far side. And we're just about ready to go. It's El Paso going left to right, and they're all white. And it is Phoenix Rising going right to left in their all black. Both these teams trying to get back on the winning track. Just 1 point out of the last 2 matches for both of these sides. And tonight, an opportunity for them to play outside of their respective groups. Phoenix Rising in Group B, El Paso in Group C. But here we go from Casino Arizona Field. It's El Paso Locomotive, and it's Phoenix Rising here on this Saturday night. Early on, a touch for Junior Flemings down this near side. Back on his normal left flank. He started in the midfield last week. Rick Schantz just saying an experiment not exactly working out how they liked, but it was a bit of a tough match last week for Phoenix, of course, going down to 10 men with Santi Moar's second yellow card just before halftime. While El Paso, they couldn't get a result at home against New Mexico. It was Jose Gomez who did score a penalty kick in that match, but that was it for El Paso. And tonight they come on the road against this Phoenix side who they couldn't beat in 2 times last year. Their first year, of course, in the league. But early on, it's an attack. Salgado trying to curl one for that top left corner, and it sails out of play. So the opening minute gone. Devin Kerr, what are you looking for tonight?
You know, both of these squads, Josh, are really trying to find some proper movements all over the pitch, and specifically, they just want to get everybody in sync again. When you look at their body of work so far, we've seen some really good looks out of the back line from El Paso Locomotive. Love what I've seen out of Richie Ryan and Omar Salgado trying to help build this team going forward. The problem is just haven't been able to really accomplish that downhill effort once they do cross midfield, where you're getting 3 and 4 guys running at the defensive units on the other side of the ball. When you look at Phoenix Rising, they're a bit different, right? They have struggled building at times. You're getting 1 out of the midfield 3 playing well. The front 3 haven't exactly been as dynamic as we've asked, and the back line has rotated a lot. So they're looking to build some chemistry and some confidence. And to be honest, both of these teams, no matter what, they just want to make sure they're in the positive front foot and give themselves an opportunity to go get some points.
Well, Phoenix, it was 2 matches against Orange County that just didn't work out in their favor. A loss and a draw. Tonight's keys to the game brought to you by Showcase Honda. Devin Kerr, what say you?
Going along with what I just said, they're trying to build some chemistry. I do think change is good. I think this team is trying to find their way in Phoenix Rising, and everybody became so accustomed to their winning ways last year. Sometimes it just became about the win, and they lacked focus on what the overall goal was. That was to get better as a team and to find one unit going forward to make sure they could always get results no matter who was on the pitch. They'll look to do that tonight. El Paso Locomotive, oh my Omar, Omar Salgado has been nothing short of spectacular for this team. The problem is a lot of 1v1 efforts, and he doesn't have the ability to sync up with anybody on the other end of the ball. Got to find a way to get guys like Dylan Mayers, Josue Gomez up top, Nick Ross, and even some of the holding midfielders coming forward in the outside backs to help him out a little bit. He cannot carry the entire load himself.
We already saw that early curling effort going for that top left corner from Salgado there in the opening minute. And right now, Phoenix taking a page out of El Paso's book. They're passing it around the back, trying to gain some time on the ball. That's something we will definitely see from El Paso, you'd think, at some point tonight. Something Rick Schantz talked to us about this week was playing a little bit more on the front foot. He felt they were a little bit too passive the past couple of matches, playing negative balls. There's a shot from Flemings that's eaten up by Ketterer. They played too many square and negative passes is what Rick Schantz told us. And you feel like tonight we could see a little bit more aggressive Phoenix Rising side. That giveaway there to force a throw in here for Phoenix. Asante dances by a defender. Paso trying to play through this press.
That's really well done, Josh. Notice how restricted the space is on the far side. They've made their way all the way over, and now they open things up for themselves. They want to get into these 1v1 battles, see if they can challenge the outside channels, whip things in, and allow those trailing runs to really heat things up.
Ambitious effort there from outside the box. It was Dylan Mayers. Sails out of play. A goal for him already this season, the 28-year-old from Zionsville, Indiana. Trying to play it through for Dadashov. Michak Jerome stepping in there, who missed a lot of the season last year, Jerome. An ankle injury. He's an experienced player with Mark Lowry, played 3 years with the Jacksonville Armada. Flemings cutting infield again. The shot blocked away. It was Mayers tracking back in defense.
That was a real frustration for his squad. They missed him. Michak Jerome was flying high in his time with the Haitian national team, actually tore his Achilles against Bermuda at the Gold Cup, and from there they started scrambling, a lot of rotation on the back line. They were able to steady the ship, but when you lack that overall presence, the consistent piece on the back line and one of your big center backs, it's very difficult to just slide someone in there without missing a beat.
Ball deflected out. Just about 7 minutes gone. Still looking for that opening goal. Phoenix Rising, El Paso Locomotive. And to play it down the line, and this will run all the way through, and Eric Dick will get a touch. Play through the lines, and a late whistle there as Flemings goes down. And we should note, head referee Alan Martinez Loyola, it's his first game as a center referee, and Flemings is still down on the field.
Drew Becky not necessarily happy with the challenge on this near touchline. Already both teams allowing themselves to venture out to the wings, trying to move the ball side to side. You're going to get a much better look coming in from behind. Nice little touch by Junior Flemings to the interior, coming over the shoulder. Drew Becky just got caught trailing a tiny bit. A little challenge on Jamaican international will allow Phoenix Rising grab a free kick about 40 yards out.
As Cochran puts it back into play. Concho, who's back in the lineup after he missed the last game against Orange County with a red card. Actually might have saved a point for Phoenix that first match of the 2 straight against Orange County. Chiro Toko. Yuma Monsalves. Played in behind. Conto caught looking there. Salgado trying to just chip that towards the back post. Eric Dick will not be able to get there. This deflects out. It's going to be the first corner kick of the match. It comes for El Paso.
It's a much better build-up by El Paso Locomotive, though, where they're allowing Drew Becky and Andrew Fox to push their lines higher. Salgado, Nick Ross convert themselves to the interior. Really challenges the shape of not just the midfield 3 of Phoenix Rising, but the entire back line. A lot more rotation by the El Paso Locomotive players, and they're rewarded for their efforts. Grab a little corner kick, see if they can mess with the minds a bit early on.
There will be an in-swinger from this near side. Towards that back post area. It looks like that ball does go out. It will be a goal kick for Eric Dick. Tonight's injury report brought to you by the Mayo Clinic. No injuries for Phoenix Rising. That's a good sign for them. On the other side, Brian Revillon misses out. Eric Dick comes on loan from Sporting Kansas City. He played in the preseason for Phoenix Rising. It's pretty impressive as well. And Eric Dick, who was somebody who took advantage of being in Arizona. He's from Kansas, but during the lockdown portion of the COVID-19 pandemic, he got out and he was doing a lot of hiking. I saw he posted a lot about getting out and exploring some of what Arizona has to offer. An ambitious effort there. That was Asante sending that way out of play.
Gonna work on the cardio up in the mountains, right?
Absolutely. The
a little
thin
altitude.
Air.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw a mask on, you know, simulates everything.
Looked like he was all alone. Nobody was around him. The ultimate social distancing. And here's El Paso. Playing out of the back. A lot of possession, a lot of passes. These two teams pass the ball just about the most in the league. Away by Conto for Asante. Dadashaw making that diagonal run. Asante just a little bit too heavy, and this rolls out for a goal kick. Logan Ketter kept 13 clean sheets in his first season with El Paso last year. The Madison, Wisconsin native. Back for year 2 here with El Paso. Baquero couldn't quite keep possession there. Flemings. Play continues. Here comes El Paso to get it out to that left flank. Gomez. Gomez will go for goal. It's bobbled there by Eric Dick, and then he just has to knock it out. Well, the first real test for Eric Dick tonight. A little shaky there at the back.
Slaps the floor at disgust. He knows he makes a mistake because not only does he bobble this, Josh, he drops it right on the doorstep at the top of the 6-yard box. This is one as a goalkeeper where you just want to try and find a way to gain some confidence as the match goes on. When you're in traffic and you are asked to step up and make a play like this, come with your fists. Punch off the line, reset this ball out, move your defensive shape up, and allow things to get a bit better in terms of your overall shape, because you give a total unnecessary opportunity to the opposition.
And now it's a corner kick. Dylan Mayers. It's that back post area again. It was just bouncing around there as there was an El Paso player right in front of Dick who did get a fist to it. Kind of cleared all the way to the back, and now Logan Ketterer. Mark Lowry, while talking to the El Paso press this week, saying this group performs like it should win 3 or 4-0 every game, but they just haven't gotten those results. See what changes here tonight, but a decent start for El Paso, testing Eric Dick on a few occasions. Here's Becky. Slipping this through, Eric Dick came off his line and it rolls past the line and in. Is Josue Gomez, a misplay at the back by Phoenix, and El Paso strikes first.
This is where they get you, Josh. They make you second guess every single movement that you're making on the defensive side of the ball. A bit of nap time. Look at, they weave their web of deceit all the way through the midfield. Then they strike with a vengeance. Quick little ball back in. How about the touch on the ball by Dylan Mayers? Perfect way to it. Little English on the outside of the boot. Josue Gomez on the back shoulder. That's AJ Cochran coming back over. Cannot get enough body on him. And he just tucks it inside Eric Dick, who, by the way, in 15 minutes has had a very shaky start.
So for Gomez, his second goal of the season, and for Mayers, his first assist of the season. And it's 1-0 to El Paso Locomotive. Well, last week when Orange County scored that first goal, it was the first time all season that Phoenix had been trailing, and now they are trailing for a second straight match. It's all about the response. It's always said the 5 minutes right after a goal, so important for both sides. Flemings. For Beccaro, now Asante. Darnell King on the overlap. Beccaro was all alone in the middle and just couldn't find him. Lambert takes it right back. Stanton on the turn. Just couldn't quite get rid of that. Arizona Complete Health is the exclusive health plan partner of the Phoenix Rising Football Club, providing each member the tools they need to successfully manage their own health. No matter your age or stage in life, Arizona Complete Health has you covered. Cochran there to cover for Phoenix. Here's Asante. Some room to run. Dadashov for Flemings. Now for Stanton. This is a really good move from Phoenix. Stanton goes down. The referee points to the spot, a penalty for Phoenix.
Tough one in traffic. Frustration all over the map by Drew Becky and company. Much better interchange by Phoenix Rising on the buildup here. Dadashov actually lets this touch get away from him a little bit, but Junior Flemings recognizes there's a step coming through by Sam Stanton. Is there contact here? Really tough to tell, gotta be honest. Much better angle, does he get him?
Maybe?
There could be the tiniest of touches there. Here's what I have to say. You and I have the luxury of seeing the replay, and we're still judging as to whether or not there's contact. Now run it full time with bodies in your way. It's really difficult to go against the referee. More importantly, it's difficult to go against Dadashov.
It is Rufat Dadashov looking for his 4th goal on the season. And he slots it home. Phoenix back on level terms from the spot.
Only took 2 minutes and 20 plus seconds to get them even again, Josh. And sometimes you do need that glimmer of hope. Contact or not, referee points to the spot. It's a quality penalty. In-step, bottom corner, no parlor tricks. Sometimes you just step up, pick a direction, and go with it. Dadashov trusts himself, opens the hips up at the end. Ketterer goes the wrong way. We're back at square one.
Well, we talked about those 5 minutes right after goals, and Phoenix a good response to get it back to 1-1, 19 minutes gone. And for Dadashov, his 4th goal of the season. Last season playing in Germany. He's been there since 2010, and Drew Becky conceding that penalty.
Well, here's the other thing to think about, Josh, is regardless of contact or not, as compact as that play was and everybody in and around the top of the 18, there's no reason whatsoever that much space should have been available for that ball to be slid in from behind. You see the running coming from Sam Stanton out of the midfield. You got to pick up the runner. That's a communication issue by the back line. A quick little chat. Hey, runner left shoulder. Hey, runner right shoulder. Pass along. Whatever they normally chat with each other, they just didn't pick it up.
It was good, quick passes there from Phoenix nonetheless. Phoenix will absolutely take it as they're right back to square one, as you said, at 1-1. Mares distributes wide. It's Darnell King to block the cross. Andrew Fox getting into an attacking area, something El Paso loves to do, get those fullbacks up the flanks. Fox earns his team a corner. We'll see what El Paso can do to test Eric Dick this time. Another Carvana corner kick. Dylan Mares to swing this in. Another in-swinger for El Paso. All the big bodies up. They'll play this one short, and DeCaro got the first touch to it. Asante gets pushed in the back, and he earns Phoenix a free kick just inside the attacking half. Yuma Monsalves conceding it. And it will be a very late yellow card there from Alan Martinez Loyola to Yuma Monsalves.
Lest we forget that there's no love lost in this rivalry. If you're a Phoenix Rising fan, I think it's easy to go, well, in order to have a rivalry, the other team has to find a way to get points, which Locomotive have been unable to do in their previous 2 matchups. But they have been heated battles each and every time. Last time was actually culminating in a red card picked up by James Kiffey in the 45th minute. And credit to Locomotive, they battled the entire way. If it not for a 73rd penalty by Solomon Asante, they would have been able to get out of here with a point. Instead, Phoenix Rising the victors 2-1.
Stanton trying to track that down in towards the corner. Another goal kick. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. The latest Select products and special offers please visit selectsportamerica.com. And here's Beccaro. Looked up over the top. And they're looking for Tadashov or Flemings. And Ketterer there. Asante takes it away. Asante gets dragged down, and it will be a free kick in a very interesting position for Phoenix Rising. Like Richie Ryan committing that foul.
He catches him here. He gets clipped. It's just outside the 18. Once again, Richie Ryan turning his hands up in almost disgust, but watch. Right at the tail end of this. He grabs the boot. Not the end of the world. Little knock there. Actually dragging towards his knee. We forget Solomon Asante, that slithery little snake on the outside. Comes to the interior, trying to find a way. And this is one where if you're a Rising player, you get to have a little fun. Solomon Asante's in there. John Beccaro fancies himself. You have quite a few players who have the ability to take aim and challenge Logan Ketterer. But they're crafty. They have no problem whatsoever going the area route and looking for the likes of Dadashov.
Beccaro skies this well out of play.
Oops. It's a bit different than the training ground, isn't it?
Just a bit. Potentially a wasted opportunity there for Phoenix, unable to convert. They nearly scored a free kick in that opening match against Portland way back in March. It was a pretty good save by the keeper, then it was tapped in by Rufat Dadashov. That was the first goal of the season for Phoenix way back in March. Here's Drew Becky. Drew Becky's sister, actually a very good soccer player in her own right. Canadian women's national team star, Manchester City women's team star as well. Soccer definitely running through that family. Here's Salgado. Couldn't get by Kanto. Becky. Here's that possession game plan by El Paso. I'm not sure I would even call it a game plan. It's more of just a way of life for El Paso Locomotive.
Mark Lowry sent out to build this squad. It's a story that's been told multiple times, but it can't be understated how much he asks of them. He's very passionate, has an idea of how he wants to play. It's a old school English mentality with new school flair, where he allows people to express themselves and have a little fun, but also the discipline always ever present. You'll see a lot of rotation by his teams, a lot of touches on the ball. You talked earlier about how many passes they can string together in a game. I think it's one thing to talk about how many they put together. It's even more the fact that they're tied for second in efficiency.
Cross coming in, deflected out. Another corner kick for El Paso. Those are starting to mount here for Locomotive.
That's a good look at it. Hovering at 82% passing accuracy allows them to really interchange and create some quality opportunities. It's definitely been better here in the opening 28 minutes for the visitors. Got out in front 16 minutes in. That lead, of course, only lasted for 13 as Rufat Dadashov would net from the spot just 3 minutes later.
1-1, 28 minutes gone. Dylan Mayers, another in-swinger. Eric Dick more confident in that catch. He distributes quickly. Phoenix trying to use their speed. Here's Junior Flemings down the left side. Flemings slips that in for Stanton. And they say play on. Monsalves and Stanton mixing it up a little bit. Look at Rick Schantz pleading his case to the fourth official. I'm sure he has a little extra pep in his step today, Rick Schantz.
Nothing to do with this fact that his Arsenal boys took down a trophy, I'm sure.
I don't know.
I think we've all given each other enough hard times, we'll just say, putting it politely.
Sure.
Over the years to
congratulate
banter. One another. Yeah, everybody gets a trophy, right?
Absolutely.
Well, your boys are still working on something, but
I'll leave that there. Asante gets it from King. Toko going airborne to clear that away. Vaquero. Knocked back for Whelan, and now Cochran. Here's Vaquero. Taken away by Ntoko. Maybe a chance for El Paso to move quickly up the field. Salgado. Truly Nolan, faster than a speeding cockroach, smarter than conniving ants, and more ruthless than a bed of scorpions. That's when Truly Nolan is in hot pursuit. There's no escape. For a free estimate and $50 off pest control, go to trulynolan.com. Trying to get into a wide position, and this one will trickle all the way out for a throw-in. We're past the 31-minute mark, and that means it is time for hydration break. Well, during this return to play, obviously no fans in the stands for Phoenix Rising. They've been doing the cardboard cutout fans in the stands, but a really cool initiative. There was a GoFundMe put together for kids at the Children's Hospital right here in Phoenix, and they get a chance to sit right behind the bench and have their faces here at Casino Arizona Field. A really cool initiative here for Phoenix Rising.
Actually started earlier this month, back on July 10th, and a great guy by the name of Kevin Gates does a lot of things in the community. He sets out to bring the kids from the Children's Hospital to the games. Now, the thought process is awesome. He says, okay, let's see what we can do here. Well, not only did they do well, they maxed out the number of children the hospital could actually handle. 70 and still going. They exceeded their funds limit. It was fantastic. They were going to try and swing it for their match on July 11th when they hosted Los Dos. Now, that would have been great. They won 4-0. But they got so many kids so fast, they no longer had the ability to transport them to the game. More importantly, these kids, they know the players firsthand. They're visited regularly. Guys like Zach Lubin, Carl Wazinski, retired goalkeeper. This is a culture that they've created out here in the desert. They are proud of it. But it's not just the performance on the field. It's giving back to the community and these wondrous children off the field who are going through some really rough things. And I think it's a real testament to the community rallying around what they are capable of when asked, Hats off to you, Kevin Gates. Hats off to this cause. Fantastic.
A really, really cool initiative for Phoenix Rising here in 2020. While the fans can't be in attendance, at least they have some connection to at least their faces being in the crowd. There's the goal scorer for El Paso. Just a few minutes later, it was Rufat Dadashov on the other side for Phoenix Rising. What have you made of this opening half hour?
A bit weird, right? You know, you started off, visitors felt like maybe they had some momentum. They get the goal. Phoenix Rising battles back, albeit from the spot. They've had a bit more of the momentum recently. I mean, this is a juggernaut of a match. You're looking at the record-setting 2019 regular season champions in the likes of Phoenix Rising. Lest we forget that El Paso Locomotive, as the year went on, they got better and better, and we're just minutes away from an opportunity to represent the Western Conference at the USL Championship Final. Of course, Real Monarchs end up on that, but it's a great team, and I think it's been a good battle so far.
And to look at the Sprouts virtual watch party, it's really cool what the supporters group is doing to at least get fans together to watch the game. Rising together, but separate. The sun has completely set here in the desert. Just past the half-hour mark and the first half hydration break, 1-1. Josue Gomez, Rufat Dadashov, the goal scorers. It was Dadashov from the penalty spot. And what is going to come next? About 10 minutes to go until halftime. Long ball played over the top for Asante to run into. And Toko there to clear it.
He's been great in his positioning in this first half. Ball's cleared out, taking collection of some of them sprayed in, allowing it to bring it down and then put his team on the front foot going the other direction.
He's listed in the El Paso game notes as a rock in defense, and that's exactly what he is.
With all due respect to some of the other squads in the league, you do have guys that can carry big stature, get into the tackles, you know, they do the dirty work, but maybe can't necessarily be the tactician leading from the back line, right? And then you have others who are great with technique, but don't have that presence. You get the full package with Mark Lowry's team. You know, they are more than willing to do the 50-50 battles down in the trenches, but also help these guys go forward.
Here's Asante, he was played in by Dadashov. Asante makes it 2 for Phoenix. And he just cannot stay off the score sheet this year.
A lot of space to work with here, Josh. Everything opens up on the far side. Solomon Asante slowly tracking back, almost secretively tucking in behind this back line. How about the vision? This is something that you do not get enough credit for on what Phoenix Rising tries to employ. You saw it from Adam John, you saw it from Chris Cortez, the heir apparent. Rufat Dadashov tucks himself back in and unselfishly turns around, knocks this into space, and you let Super Solo go to work. You get him into a 1v1 opportunity, and 9 times out of 10, he's gonna make you pay. This time, he puts his boys out in front.
His 4th goal on the season. This one comes in the 36th minute. And the captain does it again for Phoenix. Boy, this front 3 is just something for Phoenix Rising. Usually you'd expect it to be maybe Flemings or Asante finding Dadashov, but it was the other way around this time. Dadashov, a beautiful through ball.
And that's the evolution of this team. You go back to the rebrand in 2017. There's always been talent on this team, and that's never been an issue, but it's cultivating that for one collective experience. Players, fans, organization, community, you name it. And the evolution that is Phoenix Rising, it started off with this high-powered attack. Long balls up top, and you go, right? 2- and 3-man efforts. There's a rough challenge behind play. Watch out.
And that was after El Paso didn't get a call just before that. I should remind you, Alan Martinez Loyola, this is his first game as a center referee. I don't want to harp on that too much, but something to note.
And this is the players just policing themselves a little bit here. That's Chiro and Toko who's going to end up in the book. And the argument is actually from Kanto coming the other direction. You get the first challenge coming on the near touchline. AJ Cochran trying to play out of the back. There might be an argument for Fleming stepping in at the tail end of it, but there's nothing by AJ Cochran whatsoever. And that's where the referee's eyes are going to be. And now you're just sending a message. Ball gets dropped into Dadashov as he comes back to help collect. And the run in from behind. Little extended arm, center back, letting the striker know, I'm right here with you. You drop one of ours, you're coming to ground with me as well.
A big conversation. A bunch of players coming in to talk with Alan Martinez Loyola. It was right in front of the El Paso technical area as well. Looks like there will be a yellow card issued to somebody on the El Paso bench.
We just gave another yellow to somebody on the away bench.
Well, this is just a point where you need the head referee to take control of everything. It doesn't look like everyone's going to be pleased with the final outcome.
Well, I'll say this. When you go back to that matchup on August 10th in 2019, again, Phoenix Rising wins 2-1. 73rd minute penalty by Solomon Asante that gets in the game winner. When James Kiffey got sent off in the 45 minute, there was a massive amount of frustration, and I can understand it. They were a bit hard done by what went on. And now Salgado's going to get one. And they said, no, it's not for you. Okay, let's go another direction. Musical chairs. Taking it away and sending it opposite direction. But they're not going to back down. And I don't mind the players stepping in for themselves. You just have to be careful because you walk the fine line of calculated chaos and insanity. That's where the referee steps in, just trying to calm this game down a little bit. Because allowing the players to handle it themselves and pushing this into full chaos is two totally different things.
So here is the confusion. The initial yellow card was given to Salgado, and that's what you saw the referee kind of nod his finger and correct himself to say, no, that was not to Salgado. And now we have to figure out who these cards are going to.
I didn't get booked, so that's all that matters.
You sure? So the yellow card did go to Drew Becky. He sees his name into the book.
Go figure on that one, right? He had to talk himself into that.
And it looked like there was also somebody on the El Paso bench. We're not exactly sure who that was to, but nonetheless, the ball back rolling again. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Here's Beccaro.
A caution has been issued by the referee to El Paso Locomotive FC number 2, Drew Becky.
Back for Beccaro again. And the lineup across, this one deflects out. Kanto just not on the same page there as Dadashov. Closing in on stoppage time, and it could be a big number after that long discussion with the yellow cards, the hydration break as well, the penalty. There's been a lot that's gone on in this first 45 minutes. 2 unanswered goals from Phoenix Rising. That has them a 2-1 advantage, 43 minutes gone. Now for Phoenix Rising throw-in. Asante needs a moment to collect himself. CW61 Arizona has all the Rising action. Watch the games right here live or stream it live on the ABC 15 app on Roku and Fire TV and more streaming devices. CW61, your Arizona home for Phoenix Rising. Looks like he's ready to continue.
Look at how high Phoenix Rising have their double dragon 10s pushed up. Stanton moving real close in proximity to this near touchline, and Junior Flemings and John Vaquero was all the way out on the right-hand side next to Solomon Asante. It's not a bad idea to overload certain areas. You just have to be oh so careful, especially when Lambert's left all alone in the midfield. Any slight turnover, advantage El Paso Locomotive.
Played over the top. This one knocked back for Eric Dick. We get into 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Flemings.
The fourth official has indicated there will be
a bit of a heavy touch, and Becky stepped in to make sure he didn't get another one.
Defensive shape right now for Phoenix Rising is pretty impressive, to be honest, Josh. Dropping back in, and we're accustomed to seeing this 4-3-3 and how dynamic they can be going forward, but watch them as they drop back in right now. Look at all the black shirts, not just behind the ball, but occupying the appropriate space. Junior Fleming, Solomon Asante dropping in, Sam Stanton, John Vaquero, and you're getting real quality depth from Lambert, who's kind of ushering this whole entire unit, to be fair. Just motioning guys side to side, and you're looking at so many levels that it's just that much more difficult for the Locomotive to play out of right now. They like to be on the ball. Yes, they're tactful, but their ability to stretch the game has almost become null and void from what we saw in the opening 15 minutes. Remember, long balls to the likes of Salgado on the near touchline. They would stretch it out. Dylan Maris would get on the ball, trying to fight Gomez. That just doesn't exist anymore.
We talked with Rick Schantz about this El Paso Locomotive side, and we all know that they like to play out of the back. And he said you kind of have to use that game plan against them, and especially with Phoenix's press, you have to understand that every time you pressure, you're not always going to win that ball back. That was a heavy touch there on that long ball. It falls for Flemings, cutting back to his left. He goes for goal, and Kedder just palms that out of play, and it's a corner kick.
Drew Becky happy to oblige his mistakes to his comrades around him. Recognizes that as this ball comes all the way back over, brings it right down, just lets it drop in front of Dadashov, and Dadashov says, you know what, Flemings, you go have some fun. Recognizes the quick-witted talent of the Jamaican, puts it on that left foot of his. Nice little crack it goal. Well done by Kederet to usher it over the end line.
It's Carvana corner kick taken short. Lofted towards that back post and out of play. Comes El Paso. Cochran committing the foul. And Gomez getting himself in there again.
And this seems to be a bit further out than you would like to have a go. Dylan Mayers and Yuma Monsalves standing up over top of it. And you're looking at almost 40 meters from here. That's a heck of a strike, but you will see, I was just about to say, see if their center back will come up and have a go here. He loves to hit these dead balls.
The four-man wall for Phoenix. Monsalves in there as well. Needs to be a certain distance away from that wall. He's going to have a strike. It was powerful, but it was blocked down.
They love to bring Jerome up in these situations, Josh, and just let him have a crack. Very much a Van Bronckhorst or...
We saw Jacob Glesnes do that for Philadelphia Union way
go.
back in
absolutely.
March in MLS.
That was some kind of rocket. Remember
It
that one?
was. That was the last game, the last MLS game at least, before everything went into lockdown.
Watch the step by the center back. Look at the space in behind.
Now Flemings receiving it from Baquero. Flemings weaving in and out. Oh, this would be special! Oh, what a goal from Flemings! Dancing through defenders, and he makes it 3.
Rick Schantz appreciated the efforts, and why not? And this actually starts all the way on the back. When you have Chiro and Toko and Michak Jerome way off the line, there's a turnover. John Baquero actually had Dadashov out in front, elects to go the exterior route. Enter Junior Flemings. Now we're all going through some weird times in 2020. Junior Flemings says, you know what? I'll just social distance myself. Watch him create the space in a 1v1 that turns into a 1v2. Just slides right in between, gets power and precision at the same point in time. Hop, skip, and a jump, and they've doubled their lead.
You know Junior Flemings, he loves this left flank because he can cut in on that right foot. It's exactly what he does there. A pretty incredible finish to this first half. Phoenix was 1-0 down, and all of a sudden now 3-1 up. Look at the watch from the referee, but Devin Kerr, El Paso now, this is a big hill to climb.
They've made some pretty poor decisions, to be honest, that have put them in bad spots, and that was one of them where your center back just gets caught out of position. I've been more concerned offensively, to be honest. Their inability to create from what they did in the opening 10-15 minutes became quite lackluster in their performance going forward, and credit to Phoenix Rising, dropped into their block in the midfield, were much better defensively. And when you have that kind of confidence to sit behind, absorb some pressure, and then explode going the other way, it's a bit of old school Phoenix Rising, which meets new school, but they're happy to get it anywhere they can right now and gain some confidence.
Well, a beautiful night for soccer, and Phoenix Rising, well, they were 1-0 down. All of a sudden, they're 3-1 up. It's halftime here from Casino Arizona Field, and the halftime report is coming up next.
Welcome to the Phoenix Rising Halftime Show. I'm Craig Fouie, joined by Rising head coach Rick Schantz. Rick, thanks for taking time with us. How are you guys doing today after that first loss of the season?
We're doing all right. It's the biggest challenge for us. Not only did we lose the game, we got a red card, played a lot of the game with only 10 players, and then get on a bus and drive 6 hours through the night. The mental exhaustion, the physical exhaustion. So we've given them an extra day to recover in the morning. They've all come in, take their COVID test, and then they go and do some stretching and ice baths at one of our partners, Balanced in Old Town, and then we'll get back after it tomorrow.
Rick, let me ask you about the field conditions at Championship Soccer Stadium, because we joked about it last week, but honestly, after the draw at Orange County, it looked really bad this last weekend.
Well, they didn't paint it, so I appreciate that. It was softer. They put a lot of water on it throughout the week. They've actually put some new seed down. You can see they're trying their best to get it back up to where it is, but the reality is when it's like that, it may look bad on TV. It actually played a lot better. And, that wasn't the reason we lost the game.
No, I know, Rick, but there were some slips and some slides that shouldn't have happened and wouldn't have happened if you were playing at your home field, Casino Arizona Field.
You're right. Well, a couple of them helped us, so it's okay.
Clearly, that was a tough loss, but I do want to get your thoughts on coming away with a loss against Orange County so early in the season.
Yeah, a little frustrating. The game plan was early on was to try and be on top of them, create some opportunities. I didn't feel like we were confident enough in possession. We were making some little mistakes that then turned into, counterattack opportunities for the opposition. And every time that happened, I felt like the players got more and more nervous about keeping possession. The idea was, if we get an early goal, would be to kind of create a mid-block, sit back a little bit, absorb some pressure. But when we gave up the goal, it was just a good bit of play on their part, and our center back couldn't keep up with the forward. And one goal, you're down, and you kind of have to throw the plan out the window and still have to be a little bit aggressive.
You're watching the Phoenix Rising halftime show with Craig Fouie and head coach Rick Schantz. When we come back, we'll talk more about how difficult it was to play with just 10 against Orange County last weekend.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Hurry into Sprouts Farmers Market for your favorite summer fruits. From the sweetest cherries, mouth-watering melons, and the juiciest peaches and nectarines. Shop the freshest produce at the best prices only at Sprouts Farmers Market.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers. Managed IT and cloud services. Unified communications and telephones. Security systems and cameras. Complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
A critical player development strategy within the USL Academy League model is player promotion through each player registration status. Through this process, top young talent will continually be challenged by playing up with older players, and the best players will eventually integrate into the USL senior team environment. Player promotion begins through the talent identification process, where top U15 through U19 players from the youth network will be evaluated under the philosophy that if you're good enough, you're old enough. Once a player excels in the USL Academy League, they will be given the opportunity to integrate into a senior team environment. As they assimilate and meet senior team standards, USL Championship and League One clubs will be able to offer the most talented players professional or amateur contracts with their senior team. This mechanism is especially key, as it provides the players ready to go pro with a direct path to do so. Clubs in League Two will use their senior team to provide their top young talents experience with college-age players during the summer. Players signing amateur contracts at any of these levels are provided the chance to experience the senior team level of play at a young age, while still maintaining their college eligibility. By pushing more top young players across the US into professional environments, the USL will play a key role in improving the overall level of the elite American player, ultimately helping us reach, if not exceed, our potential as a soccer nation at the international level. For more information, visit usl-academy.com.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
It's halftime here at Casino Arizona Field. Phoenix Rising 3, El Paso Locomotive 1. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship. A lot going on, and Stephen Glass is now the interim coach of Atlanta United in MLS, which means they'll have a new coach here in the USL.
We showcase some of the kids from Phoenix Rising and Children's Hospital. Great things going on there. Birmingham Legion getting involved. How about the youngsters stand out from Austin Bold? Really giving the quality that is the academy floating around the USL and its entire umbrella. Atlanta United too. Nice to see you again.
Some scores from around the league tonight. Scoreboard brought to you by Best Western. 2 games in action currently out west. San Diego Loyal and Sacramento 0-0, and Reno a goal up on Las Vegas as well.
Big fan of that San Antonio score. That group, by the way, was one of the most concerning to me. Still didn't know like what it was going to look like coming back from the restart. San Antonio has taken the reins and run with it. They look good, and they have quality results sitting up top. I think everybody else is kind of waiting around going, when are we going to get involved?
Christian Pirano on the score sheet again, one of the bright young stars in this league. It's halftime here in Phoenix, 3-1 to Rising. Second half coming up here in just a few minutes.
Welcome back to the Phoenix Rising halftime show. We're talking with Rising head coach Rick Schantz. Coach, I want to get more into last week's game. Playing with 10 guys, and you mentioned it earlier, I'm guessing all bets were off at that point. How do you strategize? How do you handle that when you're playing one down?
For us, the initial reaction was to play with 2 forwards. A lot of teams go into what's called a 4-4-1 with 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 1 forward. Because we were losing, we were willing to kind of take a little bit more of a risk. And as the game wore on in the second half, we actually took a defender out, added a midfielder, and it was more like a 3-4-2. And we were trying everything we could think of, to try and get behind them. But they were very organized. When we got into the final third, they had a lot of numbers to defend, and it made it difficult. We were trying to cover a lot more space and a lot more of the field, but statistically, the guys really ran a lot. They were sprinting a lot. They really put an effort into it. So it wasn't about work ethic or heart or commitment. It just, at the end of the day, we technically made too many mistakes, and we were punished for it.
When you get past El Paso, you then have New Mexico United, now at home, then a Wednesday game at LA Galaxy 2, and then back home against San Diego Loyal. That's a tough stretch coming up.
Oh, it's all going to be difficult. You're playing. We feel like we're in a very difficult division, and our outside division games are against New Mexico and El Paso. Both are very good teams. If you want to win a championship, you've got to beat all the best teams. So I'd rather have a difficult season and prepare us for playoffs, or just be challenged along the way. I think the guys are ready for it. They're prepared. They now know that nothing is going to be easy, and I think that the coaching staff feels the same way.
Coach, how tough is the one loss at this point, knowing that you're facing a shortened season?
Anytime you lose points, whether it's a tie or a loss for us, is difficult to deal with, but you move on. You've got to put it behind you and concentrate on the next game.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your time tonight, and thank you for joining us for the Phoenix Rising halftime show. The second half is coming up next. Up next on the schedule, Rising will now play host to New Mexico United due to COVID-19 restrictions, and you can catch all the action Saturday, August 8th at 7:30 on CW61 Arizona.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you, or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers. Managed IT and cloud services. Unified communications and telephones. Security systems and cameras. Complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider.
Minutes in, it was El Paso getting the first goal. A little bit of a misplay at the back, maybe.
When this team is at their best, though, for El Paso Locomotive, it's quality interchange. It's really second-guessing where your mark is coming from, and they lull you back into the midfield. Nice little ball in from Dylan Maris going back over the top. Josue Gomez tucks it away. Is there a touch here? Referee thinks so. I still think it's very difficult to see. If you told me no, I'd be hard-pressed to argue against you. Points to the spot, 1-1. Phoenix. They're done. No, they're not. 36 minutes. Let's amp it up a little bit here, okay? Let's get it going. 17 minutes later. Watch this ball all the way back in. Dadashov, unselfish, streaking Solomon Asante in the back post. 2-1.
A really nice finish there from Solomon Asante. And that was his fourth goal on the season. Dadashov with his second assist. Then in stoppage time, it was just Flemings doing this all himself. He was played in by Vaquero, and he did the rest.
Really thought that John Vaquero actually got this wrong because at the tail end, at the beginning of this run, he actually had Dadashov on the far post, loads of real estate to work with in front of him. But sometimes when guys are feeling themselves, just give it to them and let them go have a little fun. Junior Flemings is one of the best in the business, in space, able to run at the back line. Solomon Asante is another one. It's great to have two weapons on one team, but Junior Flemings feeling himself, gets a great goal, puts his team out in front by 2.
Halftime stats, the possession in Phoenix's favor by just a little bit, and maybe a little bit surprising just based on the way El Paso loves to play.
Not overly concerned about the possession numbers. I was actually concerned by El Paso Locomotive and their ability to adjust at what Phoenix was throwing at them. So the midfield 3 shape of Phoenix Rising really dropped into a block. They pulled Flemings and Asante back. Dadashov occupied some space, but Lambert was the maestro of this entire thing. They need to figure out a way to use the width a bit more, get it to Salgado, get it to Nick Ross, and then move to the interior and the likes of Dylan Maris. That will give you more opportunities. That will give you more shots at Eric Dick.
So just getting set for the second half as the team's coming back out onto the field. When we have a moment, we should mention this is Rambo's last game for Phoenix Rising. He's moving on in Newcastle United back to the U23s. He'll be an assistant coach back in his home country.
Going back home, awesome opportunity for Pete Ramage, and watching one of his interviews that he was giving to Newcastle United, one of their social media outlets, really took it to heart. He talked about how he's one of the few that came through the academy system, worked his way up through the reserves, and found himself on the first team. And so when these players on the U23s found themselves in times of need, he has that experience. He can say, listen, whether it be from a playing standpoint or from an emotional standpoint, I've been here, I've done that, I know how to give them the proper guidance. He will be missed in this organization, but it's an excellent opportunity. Hats off to Peter Ramage, and we wish him nothing but best of luck.
He does get to go home, as you said, always a cool opportunity to do that. Well, Phoenix, they're 3-1 to the good, and a chance for them to move up in the standings in Group B. On the other side, El Paso, it's going to be a long way back into this one. They had that 1-0 advantage. Just let it slip there towards the end of that first half.
I'm feeling the music.
It's
got me ready to go for the second half.
Gets you in the mood for the second half. Huh?
The music and the beautiful moon. You know, I mean, what else could you ask for?
The moon does look beautiful tonight, Devin Kerr. Well, the teams will switch ends. Of course, Phoenix in their all black, El Paso in all white. Here we go, the second 45 minutes from Casino Arizona Field as Phoenix Rising looking to get back on the winning track. It's been a little bit since they have won. You have to go back to July 11th against Los Dos. Looking for win number 3 and take them up to 10 points. Play down this near side. King kept it in play. Missed touch there by Ntoko, but he's able to recover.
It's Saturday. There may be alcohol involved out there, right?
Yuma Monsalves. Take a look at the live table in Group B. It's still San Diego Loyal at the top. Phoenix Rising now just below them based on current results. Los Dos not playing this weekend. Play Orange County coming up next. It's really interesting because Las Vegas is playing right now. Orange County and Las Vegas have still only played just 3 games. San Diego Loyal at the top has already played 6. Asante whipping this one in. Check Jerome. Got a foot there, but it was offside.
Sacramento Republic on the road at San Diego Loyal. That's 0-0, 81st minute. Reno continuing their winning ways as of now. Sharing a little bit of a cushion. 1-0 at Las Vegas Lights. And RGB Tulsa have decided to play basically whenever they can.
They might play Sunday morning.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, with the delay that they're experiencing. Last we saw, it was slated to kick at 12:26 Eastern Standard Time. That's past my bedtime, I'm sorry.
That's late. That's USL Championship after dark right there.
Yeah.
But you know it'll be right here on ESPN Plus for you. Take a look at Group C right now. As we mentioned in the pregame, Real Monarchs getting that win against Colorado Springs, so they're level at 4 points. That's just 1 point below El Paso right now, and it's New Mexico United at the top of this group with 10 points. They come here to Phoenix next week. That'll be a really tasty fixture. It's played over the top. Salgado going back to his left foot. Fox is calling for it and never got there. Asante just puts this out. Be a corner kick for El Paso.
Some of the execution, Josh, even when the ideas are there, has been a bit of frustration for El Paso Locomotive tonight. If Omar Salgado can not only put a bit more pace behind this, but get it out in front of Andrew Fox, he can easily, whether he wants to hit it one time or not is a different story, but he can easily put something on target here. Instead, just leaves it behind, knock it over the end line, and they go to the corner.
Once again, it's Mares. Takes a bounce right in front of Dadashav, who knocks it clear. Chance for Phoenix to counter. Sam Stanton trying to get by Monsalves, but it was Monsalves who got that touch in. Otherwise, Stanton might have been off to the races.
There's that defensive shape once again. Look at basically dropping in. Now they've gone flat in the middle, a little 4-4-2 action. Still asking so much more out of El Paso.
Towards the penalty spot. Oh, it was just a little bit too far out in front of the intended target. I think that was Nick Ross sending that one in. Whoever can claim that next goal, if there is another goal in this game, really set the stage for the final few minutes of this one. Paso can cut this lead in half. Really give Phoenix something to think about. Caro, quick one-touch passes there from Phoenix. It's out for a throw-in. But you feel like this is more the Phoenix Rising we're accustomed to seeing. As Rick Schantz talked about it last week, a lot of square and negative passes. It seems like they're playing through the lines a little bit more tonight.
They're really not just challenging Locomotive, they're challenging themselves, right? They're going after the game a little bit here, finding different areas to play through. Would like to see a bit more out of these two gentlemen, to be honest. Kanto on the left, Darnell King on the right. Some of the better buildups have been playing off of them. Not like they've been the aggressors down into the channels, but they've opened up space for Junior Flemings and Solomon Asante, just playing in that triangular motion. Their defensive shape has been much better. I would like to see, when they're compacted into a finite space such as this, when teams drop off and really make you go beat them, where's the imagination then? What can you do when you've only got 40 yards to work with and 11 guys are behind the ball?
Here's Salgado. Gomez just flicks that along. Kanto. Lambert on the turn. Here's King for Lambert. Quick with his touch.
That's a good recovery. Almost an unforced error by Darnell King, but there's the long legs once again of Kevin Lambert. This is better shape from El Paso now. They've started to create some depth for themselves in the midfield. I like the look that we saw to them against New Mexico United when they went flat. But Phoenix Rising recognized that. Rick Schantz was readily aware of how their shape had changed. And when you go that linear in thought process, all you have to do is stretch things out a little bit and provide yourself the dimensions to break it down. That's what you've seen so far. Guys dropping back into the midfield. Rufat Dadashov overlappings on the other side.
Here's Salgado. Had to get it out from underneath his feet. And sliding in is A.J. Cochran. It's out for a corner kick. You just feel like El Paso just missing just a little bit of a step coming into the attack tonight.
Well, notice again, even if Salgado gets this ball back across the middle, nobody's there.
Yeah.
So it's those isolated efforts that we talked about, and you're also asking, it's a lot of defensive work to do, Josh, to then turn around, and when these 60-yard sprints happen, you're asking this entire team to move one way and everybody to make themselves that thin on the other side of the ball. Sometimes, I hate to say it, it's not worth it. It's very difficult to do.
Richie Ryan swinging it in. Eric Dick. Well, he bobbled that for a moment. It almost opened up for El Paso. And the shot, Karam's out of play.
Coming in, I told you, you have to keep a keen eye on Eric Dick. He had to be a leader for them tonight, and he has been the weakest link. 3 times so far, stepping into action. He's missed his opportunity, to be honest. Come with the fist, punch out, reset. Can't do it. Instead, another opportunity just by the wayside for Locomotive.
Here's Asante. Back heels, almost eyes in the back of his head there for Baquero. Now Lambert. Phoenix taking some time on the ball.
This is something they've really been working on, though, Josh. Take a look at the midfield. And they turn it over now, but Darnell King had inserted himself into the middle. John Baquero had gone out to the outside. Kevon Lambert had slotted himself into right back. It's some of the rotation that Rick Schantz has really taken an admiration of. This team's ability to recognize the space, trust each other in the movements, both on and off the field. They can build it up with the best of them, but also recognize that the minute that they turn it over, they got to track back.
Ball played over the top. Eric Dick way off of his line. And it's out for El Paso throwing. Here's Mayers. Salgado asking for it. He'll get it. He cuts it back. Opportunity for El Paso and put out of play again. Can't find the finishing touch. It was Nick Ross that time.
I just want to see someone lift their head up and hit this first time. Beautiful. Dylan Mayers doesn't force the issue. Well done, Drew Becky. How about the vision finding Omar Salgado? And look, it just sticks it right on a platter. Now it's a bit behind him, I understand it. But as the run coming to the near post, keep your head on a swivel, delay this just a little bit. If you slow down, the space around you opens up and you have the ability to turn your hips and put it on frame.
This one whipped in. Eric Dick got his fist to it. Asante tries to clear. And it's out for a goal kick. Fans, be sure to get to Arizona Federal Credit Union to get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team. Spread the word and you can score $100 when you get one. And I've got to say, it's the coolest looking debit card I've ever seen. Visit arizonafederal.org/Phoenix Rising for more information. Back. It's Darnell King, just got his legs tangled up there with Mayers. It's a foul and a free kick for El Paso.
Kevin Lambert in there as well, and a bit unfortunate for Rising, to be honest, as the momentum for Dylan Mayers was already going to ground. But you're starting to see a response from the visitors. Last 2-3 minutes, they're poking their head out saying, you know what, we've got a little fight left in us. The efficiency that we've come to know out of Mark Lowry's squad starting to gain some confidence, and that's a deadly combination. Would really like to see Mayers on the ball a bit more. And some of that combination play we've become so accustomed to appear in the spotlight.
Often towards that back post area.
I'll get it.
A missed throw in there. And now Phoenix off to the races. Dadashov up ahead. Slip through for Rufat. Dadashov for Phoenix. Ketterer brings him down. And play continues. Ketterer got the ball.
Well, no matter what happens, Dylan Mayers is buying Logan Ketterer dinner. Watch this mistake. Tracks back, misses the professional foul. Watch Sam Stanton, just delays this a little bit, gets into behind, and Logan Ketterer, go to work, buddy. Beautifully timed save, coming off the line. That is a solid 10 yards, almost to the top of the 18, actually. Space out in front, trailing by Yuma. Everything you could ask of your goalkeeper and more to keep you in this match.
Well, I said Ketterer brought him down, but that was a beautiful touch there by Ketterer. Absolutely got all ball. Really keeps El Paso alive here for the final half hour. Time for the Sonic Happy Hour, brought to you by Sonic. Enjoy the Car Hop Classic for a knockout price of $2.99. Rising player scores during the 60th minute. One lucky fan will win a $500 Sonic gift card. For more info, visit phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. Half hour to go. It's 3-1 to Phoenix Rising. All 3 goals coming in the first half. And they get it all the way to that right side. It's knocked back to Ketterer instead.
Oh, well done.
Gomez. Looking for a brace. Gomez just wide. And he kicks the end board as well. Not pleased with himself. Trying to get El Paso back in this match. Unable to on that occasion.
He knows he at least has to put this on frame, especially the night that Eric Dick has had. And just this quick little dummy, and then he goes, look at the space. C opens up. I'm still going to question exactly what's going on in terms of spatial awareness. The back line of Phoenix Rising a bit off through these through balls coming back through. Much better recognition by El Paso Locomotive, and specifically Josue Gomez.
Opted in towards the penalty spot in Toko. Like he got his head to it. Gonsalves on the turn, saved by Dick. It was Drew Becky. Quickly distributing. Flemings will get on the end of this. Asante's in the middle. This would be a beautiful counterattack. And it's knocked away from by El Paso, and Intoko comes away with it. Here's Fox. Mares. Of subs waiting to come on for Phoenix Rising. Couldn't slip it by Asante. Somehow Asante was able to regain possession. Now it's with Beccaro. Heel for handball, and play continues. Salgado. Here's Nick Ross. And Fox, oh, he was in an offside position. Now we'll get those subs for Phoenix Rising. It's Aguinaga and Barmby.
With the way that the game is heating up, this is management of minutes for Rick Schantz and co. This is much better from John Beccaro and Sam Stanton. Still don't think we've seen the best out of both of them, both as individuals as well as overall team chemistry so far. But a chance to sign, seal, and deliver 3 points for Jack Barmby and Aguinaga. Chances still providing themselves the opportunities in the final third for Phoenix Rising, but right now they're just going to really focus on battening up the hatches, maintaining possession, and not allowing this continued progression by the visitors to move a higher and higher lineup. They're starting to get back into this match.
The team sheets come out. I'm always intrigued to see what the midfield's going to look like. So many options for Rick Schantz, and he says not all of them play exactly the same positions. Obviously, Lambert is more of a holding midfielder. Aginaga can play a little bit deeper as well. He says they're all a little bit different in how they play. Schweitzer as well, he's on the bench tonight.
Outside of the likes of John Vaquero and Aginaga, all of them can pretty much play anywhere you want in the middle. Now, you're going to play some favoritism when it comes to the deep lying roles and maybe what you're asking a bit more of on the offensive end. But the ability to move all the pieces around and do it, to be honest, at your own leisure is some of the depth that they talk about, how this team has gotten better. They all believe in that one common goal, and it just escaped them last year. Yes, it's the 20-game win streak. Yes, it's all the records, but the trophy is the end goal. And they feel like the squad that they've assembled in the 2020 campaign will now finally give them the breakthrough opportunity to do that.
And speaking of that 20-game win streak, it's something Rick Schantz kind of talked to us about in terms of when to protect leads. And he said coming into this year, when it gets later in a game, instead of going for all those goals, like you know that Phoenix Rising could probably score, not that they're going to lift their foot off the gas, but be a little bit more mindful defensively to protect their leads and to try to secure those 3 points, especially when it comes to playoff time. And all these games so important for Phoenix as they're in a tough Group B, and there's a foul and a yellow card for Lambert.
Just wondering how long Mark Lowry's going to right now to punch back a little bit with his substitutes. Got to find a way to get going downhill, as we mentioned. He's put in some kind of shift, and rough challenge as Delamaire's just escaping the outstretched legs, or almost at least, by Kevin Lambert. And is this now close enough to have a crack? We saw Mechak Jerome towards the tail end of the first half fancy himself from distance. They've got the height here. If you want to put this up and get a makeshift little secondary ball back across, knock something towards that back elbow, even run a little stunt down into the corner here, and then they play it back across, you have the ability to.
It'll be Mares. And not even close there from Dylan Mares.
Well, that's got to be something spectacular from that distance to really give yourself a chance. I'd like to see them bring on some speed. Chapa Herrera possibly, or maybe even Distel Zola. They need some more speed out on the wings. They're lacking a little bit of that right now. I feel like the midfield's done much better. They're very efficient on the ball. But notice the difference, Josh, between now and what we saw in the opening 10 minutes. Remember, they were willing to go with pace, play up over this press of Phoenix Rising and go after the game a little bit. They just don't have that as much anymore. They're building from the back forward, yes, but you need that game changer, just like this. You need somebody willing to go one-on-one, stretch the game out a little bit, and the guys up top are starting to get tired out on the wings as well. Would love to see Mark Lowry just change it up a little bit, get some fresh legs, and go after the game in the final 20 minutes.
Both these teams trying to get back on the winning track. Both these teams, their last win came on July 11th. El Paso took down RGV. Phoenix Rising took down Los Dos. Inaga, he commits the foul. Ball played over the top. Dick was there off his line in the right position. Here's Lambert. Darnell King. Looks like a couple of subs readying for El Paso with 20 minutes left to go. Oh, Asante puts Mares on the turf, continuing the run. And Toko steps in to usher this out for a goal kick. Here come the subs for El Paso. It's Saeed Robinson and Guillermo Diaz coming on. Yuma Monsalves and Drew Becky will make way.
This will push Nick Ross into the midfield next to Richie Ryan. And there is some of the pace that we talked about. Regardless of what personnel you want to use, you go the likes of Saeed Robinson. Very well accustomed to what Mark Lowry's trying to do here. He's played here before. He knows exactly what's going to be asked of him. Most recently with Colorado Springs. They've had some fun battles here with Phoenix Rising. It's an interesting change here by Guillermo Diaz coming in for Drew Becky out on that far side. He's kind of a shapeshifter, if you will. Memo. Can they get their outside backs involved much more? But again, quit turning the ball over. That's better. Stand on it, find the width, and just build from the back forward. That's where they're at their best.
Here they come again. And El Paso cut into this deficit. Salgado sending it wide. Hey fans, here's a money savings tip from APS. Savings can add up fast just by changing how and when you use energy. If you're looking for ways to save on your bill, start by visiting aps.com/save. And one stop, find plans, tools, and rebates. Plus find tips for every room in your home. For all the money saving ideas, visit aps.com/save. Robinson might be that injection of pace that El Paso needs. 59 appearances and 8 goals the last 2 seasons with Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Salgado again. Couldn't quite keep it alive.
Just keep an eye on Kevin Lambert. Hands on the hips. Past few minutes getting tired. He's covering a lot of ground in that midfield. They give him so much responsibility. Also the freedom as well. They know that he's capable of carrying much of the load defensively, but also just watch him as he drops in, little link-up play. They siphon around the back line, holds the middle. Haven't really seen that much out of Barmby or Aganaga since stepping on. Here's Lambert once again.
Here's Flemings. And a link up there with Dadashov. Quick turn by Mares.
That's your next change, by the way. Dadashov.
Kunga?
Yeah, bring in Kunga. You have no reason whatsoever. He's done his job. You're up by 2, 15 minutes to go. You need someone to, you got to save the legs a little bit, right? And also someone to chase. Help to apply that pressure. He's tired. He's done a great job in the number 9 role, but right now, the way this game is going, there's still the glimmer for Locomotive. You're seeing them reset their lines. You know, they're not playing from the top of their own 18 anymore. They're just inside the center circle. And you're giving them the freedom to come up a bit higher. And it's just asking a bit more defensively of the entire unit behind you. And that's nothing against Rufat Dadashov. He's just been chasing a lot. One heck of a shift that he's put in. He's not been bad either.
Flemings, yeah, it was a pretty good goal that he scored right at the end of that first half. As here's our second half hydration break, and let's get you caught up to speed in case you tuned in late tonight. It was an early goal, and the first goal of the game went to El Paso. And a few minutes later, it would be the penalty that we're still not quite sure if it was exactly a penalty. It was still given. Dadashov slots it home. That levels it at 1. Then it was Solomon Asante. You knew he'd get in on the scoring action tonight, and he did just that to give Phoenix the lead just before halftime. It was Junior Flemings dancing in between defenders, and look at that powerful finish right over Ketterer. That made it 3-1 to Phoenix Rising, and that is where we stand here at our second half hydration break. And that front three, well, Rick Schantz tells his front three to watch Liverpool and what they do. And they're following in their tracks in terms of goal scoring.
The biggest ideas for them are, how do we get all 10, right? So, past couple of matches, we've seen some stuff from Solomon Asante. We've seen pretty consistently, to be honest, out of Rufat Dadashov, not necessarily scoring, but putting in the workload up top. And of course, Junior Flemings, but can you get all three going in one direction? That answer was given pretty early in this match. And then the pressure just stays there, right? You ask for a bit more out of the midfield three coming up from behind. I think that their shape defensively in the midfield, combined with the chasing that Dadashov has done up top, has been the best you've seen so far this year. A bit concerned by what we've seen out of some of the movements on the back line. They've opened up some spaces that have not really been that appealing. More so in the sense that pretty customary that the balls that have been given away or the space that has opened up should have been pretty easily locked down, and it wasn't. Then again, sitting on a 2-goal lead with 12 minutes to go and you haven't had the best defensive effort or best goalkeeping night from Eric Dick, that's not a bad position to be in.
Right now they're on their way to getting 3 points for the first time in 3 weeks. Foul there just before that pass. Slight chuckle there from Jack Barnby. Aguinaga. Looks like some fresh legs coming in up top here in just a moment. Joey Calistri. As you said just a moment ago, Devin, it looks like that change will be for Dadashov. But it will be Calistri rather than Kunga.
The question is are they going to continue the grand experiment with Junior Flemings and push him into the number 9 role that Rick Schantz has been so keen to try out? Hasn't been successful yet. Or do you just take that unbridled response and energy from Joey Calistri and let him become a menace to society up top?
Flemings cutting it on his right foot, trying to slip that inside for Dadashov.
Don't mind if you do. That's what I'm talking about early on in the game, where when you're just feeling yourself in a certain type of way,
cheeky little touch.
You feel like the world's your oyster and you can do everything. And not only did we see that expression from Junior Flemings on his goal, excellent vision, nice little cut in, tiniest little touch in behind. It almost feels like sometimes with him, when you've seen it all, he surprises you again, right?
Eric Dick way off his line again. He has to race back to keep this in play. Finally, he'll pick it up. Of course, Phoenix without Santi Moar after last week's double yellow. It looks like we'll get that sub for Rufat Dadashov. A good night for him. He does get a goal. He also gets an assist. Looks like it'll be another sub for El Paso as well. Marios Lomis is ready to come on. Dadashov makes the slow walk off. Calistri on. And it'll be Nick Ross, the one to make way for El Paso. Lomas on for Ross. Looks like Flemings has come a little bit more centrally.
And he'll play in the 9. They'll just ask him to see the rest of this game out up top. If they can find a window of opportunity to open him up, great. And the bigger concern is right now, can they shut down the juggernaut that is Marios Lomas? Hasn't exactly had the greatest start to this 2020 season. Injury plagued in 2019 for North Carolina FC, coming off a stellar year in 2018. They got him back at the tail end of it, but hasn't really been the same since. And what do you ask of him? He primarily plays as a point man.
Maybe something here for El Paso. Lomas, it was blocked. Lomas coming off a career-high 6 goals last year. 5 goals the previous year. Gives it away. Flemings will try to bring this in, unable to.
It's just interesting right now, Josh. And I understand that you're getting down to the end of it, but they're allowing Lomas to drop down more centrally than Josue Gomez. I actually think Josue is better tactician.
Sent forward. Dick got 2 fists to it. And luckily that went right to Lambert in the midfield.
You're also taking a lot of height out of your attack as well by pulling Lomas even further back into the midfield. You play the 2 of them who are paired, and there's a good look at him paired right up next to Lambert right now. And Josue Gomez just next to him. And they're sitting flat next to each other right now. But when they are on the ball and you're trying to find some shape, Robbins coming to the outside, Lomas just coming real central. And then when they try and attack, go the other direction, you've got a guy standing up top who, no, he's not the tallest, 5'7", but he's also tired. He's been running non-stop, Gomez, for 85 minutes. And you're taking your freshest threat, pulling it further away from goal.
Mares unable to get it by Cochran. Now Aguinaga looking upfield. Flemings. Jerome stepped in. player down for El Paso. That is Gomez, as you were just saying. A pretty busy shift for him tonight. The goal scorer all the way back in the 15th minute. Toko. Late whistle, it'll be a free kick for El Paso. They've had a few of them in this sort of range, and they haven't really made the most of them so far, but they can make this one count and give Phoenix something to think about for the final few minutes plus stoppage time.
It's that tweener range, right?
You can't really go for goal, and you don't.
You can, just what we've seen tonight, it hasn't been very good. Yeah, this is, but Dylan Maris, the way he's lined up here, you can understand what's at stake. Look at how flat this line is. This is where I like something, dude. Just pump this down into the channel on your left, then come square back across.
Send it right into the middle, a free header, saved by Dick, saved again by Dick. Keeping it at 3-1, and for all the mistakes that Dick has made tonight, making up for him right there.
Shows you what he's capable of. Not the best of starts for Eric Dick, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Really well done by the goalkeeper. Double save back-to-back, both sides of his body, and point-blank range as well.
Play continues here. Robinson towards the penalty spot, cleared away. El Paso putting some pressure on Phoenix here in the closing stages. Salgado. Paso putting a lot of bodies forward now, and why not? Cochran heads it away. Diaz lofts one forward again. King was there this time.
Got to be a bit more urgency than this. Patience is a virtue, but right now, you don't exactly have that luxury. There you go.
They'll have it run all the way through. Cross into the middle, blocked away again. And Toko. Salgado now. I'll take this on. Another shot blocked. This one's brought down by Fox. Centering. It was blocked down. Whelan was there. He's down inside the box. Now it's put out, and there are some tired legs out there for Phoenix.
Both of these squads have done some ridiculous shifts. At the tail end of this, Josh, there was a couple opportunities here where it's just not as crisp as you'd like to see it. Second guessing by some of the movements. And there's some good thoughts here going from El Paso. Unfortunately, just seems like the way the night has gone that it's not going to be enough, and hats off. He has been spectacular. Kevin Lambert. Enjoy him while you can. This is a kid who's going places, and I don't mean that in disrespect to Phoenix Rising or USL Championship, but when you listen to the conversations around his camp, they understand that he is a quality talent that is getting better every time he steps onto the field. Tonight was a great representation of it. Kevin Lambert locking down that central midfield while also doing such a good job of maintaining his presence, combining with midfield 3, helping the boys up top. Everybody grateful for the shift that he put in tonight.
And you feel like on the team sheet, he's almost undroppable for this Phoenix side,
so
even with that busy midfield.
So we have the luxury of seeing some metrics behind the scenes, right? We can tap into some of these computer programs. Common sense tells you if you watch him, he's really efficient on the ball. You can kind of, it's hard for me to look back over the game and go, well, I remember him giving this ball away or giving that ball away. 93% passing accuracy. Wow. He only gave away 3 balls tonight. And the fact that you can't remember any of the 3 is a good sign. It means it was a little one sprayed out to the side, or maybe one of those notorious 40-yard ones he tries to play up over the top. That's what you want out of your 6.
Number 20, Asante.
And he will make the slow walk off. It's Joey Farrell, along with Jordan Schweitzer, will come on. Lambert makes way. We know all those fans watching at home on the Sprouts virtual watch party as well, celebrating what looks to be 3 points for Phoenix Rising. As we're into 5 minutes of stoppage time, we'll probably get a few more ticks than that. Whelan was shaken up. He is back on the field for Phoenix. So up next for Phoenix, home against New Mexico United. Sink your teeth into that one next Saturday. El Paso will head back home. A big match, to be honest, with Colorado Springs. That one in El Paso. Both these teams into the second quarter of their season already. We are into August here in the USL Championship.
Phoenix are going to venture out of their group 2 more times. They'll get New Mexico and Reno. El Paso Locomotive, only 1 more. San Antonio FC. That'll be at home on September 12th.
Knockdown for Mares. He'll take one on. It wasn't too far away. Looks like it did take a slight deflection and out for a corner kick. Phoenix pleading their case to Alan Martinez Loyola.
Even Dylan Maris thought he just knocked it up over the top.
He started running back the other way.
He was like, all right, I'm back on D, let's go. And there are a lot of positive talking points for El Paso Locomotive. This is one where Phoenix were just better. You know, they were the better team tonight.
Swung in. Oh, there was a header there at that near post. It's just sent over.
Still very good team that you have here, Mark Lowry's squad. I would like them to be a bit more tactful. We mentioned coming in that offensively haven't been the best. Saw some quality looks out of Dylan Mares. Nothing fantastic, but you know, you asked a lot of him. He was tracking back defensively. Once they did find their shape again in the second half, they were getting picked apart in the first at certain points in time. And when that happens, you just start chasing. When you're asked to create so much and then turn around and go the other way, that's a hard thing to do. Josue Gomez in and out. Lomas comes on, Robinson comes on. Nothing great. And to be honest, it was an area that they lacked last year as well, prior to the arrival of Jerome Kiesewetter.
He is now playing with Inter Miami. Here comes Calistri. For Flemings in the middle. He just lost his balance. Knocked away by Jerome. Some final scores to tell you about San Diego Loyal and Sacramento Republic finish 0-0, while Reno take down Las Vegas in Las Vegas 1-0. So some results going Phoenix's way. Salgado, he get one back, his shot's blocked. He'll do it again, and it's sent high and out of play.
How about for Phoenix, Josh? You know, the fact that, you know, haven't really seen the best of them so far this year. This is the best performance you've seen, by the way.
Definitely.
Out of every single game that they've played. And I think it's easy to take a look and go, oh, you know, the 6-1 against Portland Timbers 2. Timbers 2 are not the team they used to be. Los Dos on the restart, 4-0. Yeah, 4 goals are great. Still not a great performance. This is the best that they've played so far. I do not think it's their ceiling. You ask the coaching staff, he's going to say the same thing. But to come out, make this kind of statement, and then have the opportunity to challenge, let's call it, their rival, New Mexico United, August 8th, where they have yet to defeat them, that's a great chance.
It's top of the box. The shot comes on, it goes wide. Eric Dick also did receive a yellow card just a moment ago. Flemings looking for Calistri, never got there, and Flemings is down. That's not what you want to see here at the end. And there's the final whistle, 3 points to Phoenix Rising. They get a 3-1 victory tonight over El Paso Locomotive. As you said, Devin, a very well-rounded performance. Maybe aside from the goal they conceded, but 3 goals to the good and 3 points as well.
They're right back ended in Group B. They'll jump up to the 2nd spot after the draw for San Diego Loyal, which puts them at 11 points. Phoenix will just touch themselves into 10. Of course, the 1 game in hand. Los Dos hot on their heels at 9 points. They're going to have 1 on Phoenix, 2 on San Diego. This is the kind of response you want from a team that showed up flat last week. Quality training all week long. Get right back at it. Quality result, and they'll be really excited to get back on the pitch in a couple days.
Rufat Dadashov, tonight's Carvana man of the match, a goal and an assist. He's up to 4 goals on the season, and give him 2 assists as well. Well, we'll come back and wrap things up, but Phoenix Rising back on the winning track, 3-1 over El Paso tonight.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, security systems and cameras, complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Phoenix Rising 3-1 winners tonight over El Paso Locomotive, and Junior Flemings having a little fun with it. Solomon Asante, good night's work as well. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights. And it started early, but it was El Paso that would initially get going first here in the 15th minute. Kind of awkward at the back from Phoenix, and Josue Gomez able to just slide it by Eric Dick.
Can you provide yourself some more opportunities when push comes to shove? They were able to do that, Josh. Unfortunately, those would come few and far between as the game continued to progress. Phoenix Rising would not wait very long to respond. Stanton, great little run coming out of the middle. Quality vision by Junior Flemings to find the trailing run of their midfielder. Points to the spot, point to Dadashov, point to the bottom corner, point to the scoreboard. We're at 1-1.
And then in the 36th minute, this was a really nice through ball by Dadashov, and, you know, Solomon Asante, he'll do the rest.
That's why he's man of the match. Not because of his ability to find the back of the net, although that is nice. But this all opens up because of his awareness of his space around him and his ability to distribute when asked upon him. And it's great to have playmakers. You know, some teams have one, some teams have two. Phoenix seemed to have 25. Just kidding. All that mattered was Junior Flemings. Look at him go to work in the box, challenging the goalkeeper. Some people at home might have felt that Logan Ketterer should have done better here. This is a very difficult ball to take in traffic, such as so. How about this double save by Eric Dick at the tail end of it? Really well done going to ground. The first one. Watch the second one with the right arm coming back up here, right there on the doorstep. That saved the game because El Paso Locomotive have found their way back into this match. It was not enough. And I think it's easy to look and go, okay, goals, shots. Explain to me who's keeping the stats and how El Paso Locomotive have 23 shots on goal.
Block shots? I'm just trying to make a case.
Here's the stat that stands out to me because it's not up there on the screen. Jack Barmby, Darnell King, AJ Cochran, Corey Whelan, Kevin Lambert, all instrumental pieces. Outside of Barmby, who came on as a substitute, but still has to do a lot and lock that midfield down, all passed it 93% or better. Some of them were perfect.
Wow.
Talk about efficiency for El Paso. They got a taste of their own medicine tonight.
Well, Phoenix Rising back on the winning track. El Paso Locomotive just 1 point in their last 3. That's going to do it tonight from Phoenix. Up next for Phoenix Rising, it's New Mexico United right here at Casino Arizona Field. For our entire crew and Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Phoenix, where they have 3 points in the bag.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.